Welcome back to the talk. We are talking matters in sincerity, and Yogo George is our guest today. And we were talking about society in general, and we promised you that we'll be right back to talk about that. But before then, I want to ask the question, can one be sincere to themselves?
Actually, insincerity begins with oneself. You can't be insincere to the public except and unless you are insincere to yourself.
To yourself.
Because before you lie to others, you must first of all convince yourself of that lie. So you must start by lying to yourself.
You know, Yogo, somebody told me it's good to stand in the mirror alone and tell yourself all the good things that you have imagined you are. For example, I am handsome, I am admired, I have influence, all those kind of things. Because it builds your self-esteem. Is that being insincere to oneself?
There is positive talk. Positive self-talk is different from being insincere to oneself.
Okay.
Now, one of the ways to boost self-confidence is the ability to talk truth to yourself. Positive talk to yourself. I can make it. I can't fail. I can make it. This thing will work in my hands. Now you see, that is positive affirmation.
Yes.
You're talking to yourself. But now, that is different from when you present a person that you're not to the world. These are two different things.
Yeah.
One is talking to yourself to affirm yourself, but the other is misrepresenting yourself to the world. For example, you go out to the world and you want the world to believe. There are a couple of guys who have gone. The other day, someone was arrested in Langata police station when he went and impersonated a journalist and said he was a journalist from the nation media.
Yeah.
Now, you see, that is ambition that has lost control. Now, men tend to lie to themselves when they are not able to control their ambition. And they let it supersede their actual being.
Their real self.
Yes. So they now represent a person that they are not. And that starts by them lying to themselves, I can be this thing. And then, you see, you end up telling people, this is who I am. Yet you know you are not that person. So it is possible to lie to yourself and be insincere with yourself.
So generally, Yogo, has the society hardened to being sincere? Because look at what is going on the airwaves every time, what we are seeing, the latest cases that we have had, KCSE results, and the rates of cheating have just gone very high. Is it that the society is beginning to just embrace and just stay with that trait? What would you say about that?
One thing that happens is that truth, it is society that breeds insincerity. Because the society is demanding, is over-demanding on people. For example, today, if you go to look for a job, Mainachege, with your first degree, you have no respect.
Yeah.
Because Kenya is, the master's degree is fast losing taste.
Very true. A lot of people are flocking in for that.
So today, they are looking at the third degree. And now you see, because we have capitalized on paperwork, not the actual deliverables. So I would do anything to get a paper. It doesn't matter whether I have the skill or not. Because the society does not look into the skill. They look in academic qualification. What papers do you have?
Wow.
And that is why our institutions are churning half-baked graduates, people who cannot fit in the labor market. They can't meet the demands of the labor market. Because what the labor market demands is different from what the society demands. The society wants to see a Mainachege who is able to earn an A in his papers. Now, you struggle to get an A. How
so you do
get
whatever
the A
it takes.
is not your problem, provided you have the A.
It comes.
So, because what the society wants is A. You are only respected when you have an A. And one thing people fail to understand is that almost 70% of the A's work for 80% of the C's worldwide. Because the world is controlled by failures. And the truth is this. I will ask you today. Basically, top 10 richest men in the world are all school dropouts.
You're right, yes.
Including Bill Gates. He dropped out of Harvard University.
We have so many.
And look at many. If I bring it down to Kenya, our late Njenga Karume was a standard 3 dropout.
Sure.
And there's so many people that you can talk about. There's this guy, I'm trying to remember his name, the one who invented electricity. Michael Faraday.
Oh yes, Michael Faraday.
Michael Faraday was a standard 3 dropout who worked as a book binder. And then one day, the scientist of the time, he was called Sir Humphrey Davis, went into town where he was, and then he attended a seminar, and he wrote the note and bound the books and gave it to Humphrey Davis. So one day, his lab attendant resigns, and then he decides, let me go. He rode his horse to look for Michael Faraday. And Michael Faraday was a reader. Where the greatest scientist, Humphrey Davis, did not succeed, a standard 3 dropout succeeded. But now you see, the world does not present facts as facts. The world wants us to believe that for you to succeed, then you must get an A. So people go for an A at the expense of developing skill. I am one of the 2 guys who spent time in China to study what underscores Chinese economic development. And I've shared this with people when I came back, and I realized that China is not so much concerned about degrees. You travel west today, people have diploma and higher diploma. And the higher diploma is an equivalent of a first degree here. And you see, they have invested so heavily in tertiary institutions. So they have so many qualified people with relevant skills, so you have affordable labor that is used for industrial growth and development. While here, we want degrees, and the fastest degrees that we can get are humanities. So there is no way we can grow as an economic hub while we do not nurture skill. Now you see, because society misrepresents facts, one. Number 2, society makes it over demands from people. So we now try, what I say, one of the other factors that breeds insincerity is the ability to fit in. Now, you as Maina Chege, me as Yogo, I want to fit into the demand of the society. And because I don't have what it demands, then I must find a way of getting what it demands. So today, parents would prefer to take their students or their children to schools that can help them get an A. How they get that A is not their problem. But Maina Chege, the truth is this: you meet the A student today, they cannot satisfactorily express themselves in English, and you wonder, how did they do their exams?
How do you, I wonder this, how would I feel, or how do they feel, or how does one feel when you're seated in a profession where you know all these grades I got were insincere? Isn't that not a pain in itself?
Have you noticed nowadays that one of the things that is killing people is one stroke, high blood pressure, and stress?
That's the result.
It's insincerity. Because you have been breeding a beast that over time is catching up with you. So you're doing something that you can't derive satisfaction from it. So the pressure is piling up on you. Before you realize, how on earth should a young 24 years old boy have high blood pressure?
I know, it doesn't work. It's
because there is
common.
too much pressure for him to deliver what he can't deliver.
He lied, he promised.
Yes, he stole his way into whatever he's doing, and he doesn't have the ability to produce. I tell people that, for example, academics, the word education is drawn from a Latin word, educare, which means to bring out of. So principally, education does 2 things: introduce you to yourself and to the world around you, and number 2, empower you to maximize that which you have identified. That is the basic role of education.
Very simple.
So it introduces you to yourself and to the world around you. Then it empowers you to maximize that which you've identified. Now, education makes you effective. It gives you the ability to perform in a specific area. Now, if you cannot translate what you learned into school into actual productivity, then frustration sets in. And when frustration sets in, many people die from job descriptions that they cannot deliver on.
Wow. You know, talking about that, just one of the shows that we had here, the gentleman who came here painfully talked about divorce. And, you know, you mentioned that bypassing. And I'm thinking, why are people so insincere nowadays in their relationships? Is it that character that was developed all the way back? Very quickly, what could you say on that?
I told you, one is the demand of the society. Number 1, today, I want to be very honest. Men have pushed women into doing very unethical things. Today, there are women who wear what would be regarded as a biker, but it is puffed up with some material to make sure that their buttocks look bigger. Because that is what men want to see.
Yeah.
They go for plastic surgery to enhance their breasts, either to enlarge or to reduce. To enlarge their buttocks or to reduce, depending on the demand of the time. Now, why would a woman go to enlarge the buttocks? It is because that is what the society wants.
They need to look good.
Are you understanding me? Yeah. Another thing that happens is you don't want to see a dark lady. Today in Swahili we call it rangi ya dhahabu.
Yeah.
Because everybody else wants to go for a brown woman.
Rangi ya dhawata.
Yes. Now, what happens? I would definitely look for what would make me bleach. Now, people do not want to take people as they are. I was speaking to a lady who wanted to get married to a man, and he said, you know, I've always wanted to get married to a man of God. And I told her, sorry, don't get married to a man of God. Get married to a man. The of God is a compliment.
Not just a man of God. So hey, it's been a very common cliche.
Yes, get married to a man, not a man of God. The of God is a compliment.
It's a compliment.
Because people are just people. They do people stuff.
Yeah.
Now you see, because of what the society demands, you want a brown woman, so they have to bleach. There's a lady, I would not want to mention her name, but I met her a few years ago. I never saw that lady out of makeup.
She had to constantly have it.
7 o'clock in the morning, she's gone to the bathroom, she has her makeups on. And it is that throughout the day.
And once it's gone, they look...
Yeah, so you see, because that is what you present to the person. They wake up in the night and they find the makeup is not there, you look like a ghost around them. And then all of a sudden they feel, this is not the person I got married to. Yeah. So the natural me is not presented to the world because the world wants to see the unnatural me.
Wow. Yeah, I know of a gentleman who used to be on the news a lot, and he said there was a time he was so addicted to it that he couldn't walk to the society without it.
Yep.
I mean, one time somebody ever told him, you don't look like we see. And from then he had decided, you know, I have to always walk with makeup. Now, let's go to the signs. Signs that one would, you know, look out for in people who are insincere. How can I tell?
How can I tell that someone is insincere? There are no telltale signs for insincerity. That's the truth. You can't just say that you look at an individual and you say, this guy looks insincere. The proof of sincerity is time.
Oh, time.
The proof of insincerity is time. Because time will tell. If you stole elections, give it 4 years down the line, it will prove whether you stole election or you actually earned it. You understand?
Yeah, sure.
But when it goes to relationships, it becomes very easy to tell when an individual is insincere. The only problem is that we also... Somebody said that love is blind. I said, no, love is not blind. It's lovers that usually are blinded. They're blinded. Because they do not take time to look at the actual signs. For example, if you are with somebody and this person, you want to meet them, and each time you want to meet them, they're in a pub. You call them in the night, the noise behind them is not a house noise. But you meet with them, they tell you they're not drinking.
They don't drink.
So the question you should ask yourself, what are they doing in the pub in the night?
Had questions to ask.
So there are certain things, like in a relationship, you are dating an individual who does not allow you to touch their phone.
So no goes on. My password is
Till today, I wish my wife was on the show. She would have confirmed that none of my phones has a password. None of her phones has a password. In my house, anyone can use the phone you find.
You know, Yogo, somebody said this, that if you want to test true relationships, just exchange passwords with your spouse or something.
We actually don't. My wife can operate my Facebook account. She has the password. She can access my emails. She has the password. So if I'm not there and I'm not able to access the net and I need something, I'll give her a call. Please get to my email, get this thing, or I need to talk to so-and-so. Please send them a mail on my behalf.
So do you think couples should be that free?
The Bible says that Adam and Eve were naked and they were not ashamed. The only way to build trust in a relationship is to be open to each other. Maina, I'll tell you what many people would not agree with. But the truth is this, my wife knows even the ladies I dated before I married her. Sometimes we'd be seated and we were talking and she's like, hey, I've seen your girl on TV. now you see, she knows that was my past.
Yeah.
Because I was open enough to explain to her what my past was. This is what I passed through. This is who I have been. I met so-and-so and I dated so-and-so and it never worked for me.
Yeah.
So if you see so-and-so, even when she calls me, hey, honey, you know what it means. Because this is somebody I dated.
Yes.
So she got to understand that. Now, but you see, till today, even the phone my wife is using now was my phone. And her phone had a problem. And there was no, let me go and delete messages, because I had 2 phones. And when her phone developed a problem, I gave her the phone plus the SIM card in it.
Just go ahead.
And use it. I had an Airtel line, which ended up being her Airtel line. It was my line that I was using. And I remember one day we were somewhere and she had a problem with her phone. So I took her phone and I gave her that. And I said, use it. The number, the line, plus the phone. No message deleted.
That's a tough one. Yogo, you're talking about phones and releasing passwords. You know, I don't know what they see it. Now, you know, I would like to, you know...
Let me tell you one thing,
please. Yes.
If I have a weakness, the first person who needs to know my weakness is my spouse. That is why you need sincerity. You understand me? Because the reason why you need your spouse is to help. We call it the law of compensation. You maximize on their strength for your weakness. If I have a weakness with skirt, my wife should know I have a weakness with skirt. If I see anything that looks like that is in a skirt, then my head turns. Then I should let her know, hey, I need your help. Because if I see anything in a skirt, my head spins. Now, let me tell you, the other thing that people would also want to be insincere, because the truth is usually used against us. Because there are certain weaknesses you share with an individual, then they end up using that weakness against you. So you'd rather not present the weakness as it is, but cover it up. The truth is this, it will end up destroying that relationship.
What about, you know, accountability partners? These people you really trust with your information, you tell them everything about you. Should one be wary about, you know, releasing everything about yourself to, you know, somebody you regard?
The first person that you need to be accountable for in life is your spouse. And I tell people that if you have a wife or a husband that you cannot be factual and truthful to, then you don't have a relationship. It's not a marriage.
You don't have a relationship.
You don't have a relationship. The second person that you need to be truthful to is that as an individual, you must have a mentor. Do you have a mentor over your life? Because that is the person you open up to. And most probably, I would say in another way, do you have a spiritual father?
Yeah.
That is the person you can open your weakness to and tell them, hey guy, if this thing, I don't get help, it will kill me. So you need your spouse that you can open up to, and you also need a figurehead, either a spiritual father or a mentor that you can open up to.
Wow. Somebody's watching here and maybe they're saying, I've been so insincere. Even when I text that I'll be there in 5 minutes and I'm not going to be there. What's your encouragement to such a person?
My encouragement to them is, well, being oneself is the hardest thing. You can try to be someone else. But this is what I tell people. The best you can ever be in trying to be someone else is second best. So why settle for number 2 when number 1 position is not fulfilled? It's still vacant. So just strive to be yourself. Let people hate you or love you for it. The truth is this, why should people love you for who you are not?
Yeah.
The reason why a lot of us are insincere is because we spend a lot of time trying to please people who are not even interested in us. Who cares what you wore yesterday? So you don't have to go borrowing clothes to wear because nobody cares what you wore yesterday. Just be yourself.
Wow. I want to end with, somebody else has been very sincere and sometimes they have been hated, as you said. Others have been very insincere and they're thinking they have already gotten into some serious messes. And they're thinking, wow, I just need the last dose. I don't know what you have, but I would like you to address them, looking at that camera, and tell them, your last words of wisdom with regards to the topic today.
Those who are very sincere are always considered very proud. Just be proud. Because if you're not proud of yourself, who else will? Thank you.
Wow. So no worries, if you call me proud and I'm sincere, I'm okay. I'm just me.
Yes. Because for people to take pride in you, you
Yes.
must first of all take pride in yourself.
I love that.
Yes.
I love it. Yogo George, thank you so much for coming to the talk.
I appreciate it.
Sincerity. In sincerity, choose your game and where you choose to fall under. Don't call me proud if I'm sincere. Thank you so much, Yogo, for coming one more time. And we are so grateful that you joined us on the talk. This has been one of the most bold one that we speak and tell you as it is. And we hope that it generates in you an urge to avoid these traits that indeed destroy the society. Thank you so much for joining us. See you next week for another talk.